Hey guys, it's Matt from iQuitSmoking.com, and today I'd like to talk about relapsing. But first, I got a new place. I moved from Portland, Oregon to Daytona Beach, Florida, but I might be moving soon, so this might be changing. But if you'll notice, everything's different. It took me like 15 minutes to figure out the lighting in this room, because if I opened up the drapes all the way, I'd have this huge glare. So, sorry, I apologize for the lighting. This is pretty much as good as it's going to get. Alright. I want to talk about relapsing because I think it's a very, very, very important thing, and it's what keeps you going back and back and back and back and back. And I'm going to tell you that each time that you relapse, it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse every time that you start back up and go on day 1 and day 2 and day 3, and then you say forget it and you go and you relapse, and then the next day you jump back on, you go day 1, day 2, day 3, and a cycle and a cycle and a cycle of relapsing. It does not get easier, it only gets harder. The older that you get and the longer that you smoke, you just pile on and pile on the physical symptoms that you're going to encounter. You can't tell me that when you're 18 years old and you smoke for 6 months and you quit is the same thing that happens if you're 18 years old and you smoke for 30 years and then you quit. That older person is going to experience a ton of physical symptoms. Don't let anyone tell you that you don't have physical symptoms. You absolutely do, 100%. It's not a myth. It's not in your head. It's just, I've experienced a terrible amount. At the end of it all, I was pretty much, the reason why I made this video is I want to tell you is that I was pretty much scared into quitting. Not because of lung cancer or something that I found out, but just the physical symptoms got so bad that I was scared half to death. I mean, I was literally scared all day long. On day 1, on day 2, day 3, pretty much for a week, I was having, I don't know how to express how I was feeling, but in my mind, it was almost like I was having brain spasms or a mini seizure or just like a loss of equilibrium, where every once in a while I'd have split seconds of just zzz, where I would just lose everything. I'd be at work and all of a sudden I wouldn't even know where I was standing. I mean, it only lasted like a split second. It was like in and out. But you catch yourself, you're like, what is going on? Like I need to quit so bad. And it just got to a point. I think it has something to do with your central nervous system. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, I have little bouts of just losing everything, and it got so scary that I couldn't justify anymore smoking, because I knew that was coming, that it was coming. I knew it wasn't going to be easier. I knew it wasn't going to not happen the next time I quit. I knew it was absolutely going to happen. And I was scared half to death of having a heart attack or an aneurysm, or I felt like my brain was going to explode, like my whole head. I mean, I was literally scared half to death. So every time that I relapsed, I knew, I was like, I knew while I was smoking, I was like, man, I know what tomorrow is going to be like, or the next day. I just know it, and I don't want to go through that again. And it got worse, and it got worse, and worse, until I was like, I cannot. I don't want to die. I'm way too young. I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to end up in a hospital bed having a stroke. I just can't do it. I can't physically do it anymore. The physical symptoms were so intense that I just couldn't do it anymore. So you need to quit. You just need to set a date and just do it. Because if you relapse again after that, it's only going to get worse. And if you relapse again after that, it's only going to get worse on top of that. The symptoms are going to pile on and pile on and pile on until something very, very bad is going to happen. I hope that something bad doesn't happen to me. Like, I've quit, but who knows? I could keel over right now and die. I don't know. I don't want to find out what that feeling of day one feels like ever again. It was so scary. Like, I couldn't even... Walking to the bathroom was scary because I didn't... My vision was just so messed up, and I didn't feel normal at all. It was scared to go to work. You know, your hands are sweating and you feel terrible. You feel terrible. It's just not worth it. However, I feel great right now. I've never felt better in my life. I mean, I have absolutely nothing to complain about. I live in sunny Florida. Yeah, the shade's closed over there, but in a minute, I'm going to run out to the beach and jump in the water or jump in the pool. So, quit smoking. Your life changes so dramatically. I can't even fathom going back to that horrible day one. It's just an absolute nightmare. And the sooner that you get over it, the sooner that you will reap tons of rewards. Every day is a brand new day. Every day is a win, win, win. Come join the fun with me. Please, quit smoking. All right, I'm going to head out to the beach. Peace.